Now, these are promising moments for cocoa farmers across the country. The president has launched a pension scheme for the country's 1.5 million cocoa farmers. The pension scheme will enable cocoa farmers to make voluntary contributions towards their retirement, whilst Gov't has also made a supplementary contribution on behalf of the farmers as well. Now, this initiative follows an increase in the living income differential of $400. We want to find out how this impacts the life of the ordinary cocoa farmer. And for that, joining us via Zoom is the Chief Executive Officer of Cocoa Farms and winner of the 2019 International Cocoa Awards, Samuel Tete Kobo. We're so grateful, sir, that you joined us. I hope you're doing well.
Enjoying grace of the Lord, and thank Joy for all that you've been doing for this nation.
Thank you very much. Grateful. Now, does a pension scheme and an increase in the living income differential address the endemic poverty of many cocoa farmers in Ghana?
Well, I just want to say thank you to the President for launching this important scheme at this time. It is indeed a welcome news to the cocoa farmer, albeit we still believe that there are one or two hitches if we can really assess this all-important scheme, right? Because when we are talking of the cocoa farmer, who are we talking of? Is it the landowner or the young man, young woman who has gone to take the cocoa farmer's land and working on it? Okay, if the scheme should benefit, then it should squarely benefit the one actually also working on it, and not only the landowner. That is my take. But the scheme is really, and a very good intervention for the farmer. And especially when the prices of the cocoa have been increased. That has been a cry of the farmers all along. And knowing that this increase is marginal, we are saying thank you again to the government and especially Cocoa Board for giving into this. And we believe that it will go a long way to help the cocoa farmer. It may not alleviate all their poverty needs, right? But at least a chunk of it, if they properly address and plan well, the cocoa farmer will be the beneficiary in this case.
Interesting. Talk to us about the revenues of cocoa farmers ever since the LID was effected. We're talking a $400 increase. How has this affected the revenues of cocoa farmers across the country?
Cocoa farmers across the country, I would just propose that with what the government is doing or Cocoa Board is doing by helping in the pruning and helping in the group spraying, but that has also been a point where the farmer is always having a difficulty because it costs a lot to do these particular things. You have to hire a gang and all those things. So if the Cocoa Board has taken that alongside the increase in this, then you can see that there will be a lot of disposable income to the farmer, where he can also have something, a little more to use for himself and the family, and also to address the very little perennial problems on the farm. So it is actually a good help to the cocoa farmer.
Mr. Kobo, you have seen it all. You are an established cocoa farmer in your own right. And I do believe that just the cocoa pension scheme and an increase in LID does not evaporate the existing challenges that cocoa farmers face across the country. We're talking of child labor, we're talking of the invasion of cocoa farms by illegal miners, and the list goes on and on. How much of a challenge are these existing issues to the productivity of cocoa farming in Ghana today?
An interesting angle to all this. Let's address the child labor issue. If you talk to the cocoa farmer on the farm gate, he will quickly tell you that if you don't want me to go to the cocoa farm with my child, okay, and you are still telling me that we should make sure that the aged farmer hands over to somebody, the youth, who are we going to train to take over? Okay, they continuously say that go to the developed countries. Somebody who is an engineer by way of technology will always have the child by him while he's working and learning from him. Why is it that when it comes to the cocoa farmer, you said the child is being forcefully labored?
But don't they understand the circumstances of labor with respect to transitional, generational, technical skills that oftentimes we have this generational gap where the owner, transforms or translates the knowledge to the younger generation. The circumstances change. Are they not getting that?
I think we will be getting there, especially because education is becoming more liberated so that everybody is having the opportunity to go to school. And once you get to the classroom, we can then, on the value chain of the cocoa, okay, introduce certain technical training. We have the agricultural colleges, we have the cocoa farms institutions. If we can train them from that angle, then we will not label and tag them as child labor again, because they will be then developing the skill, okay, from an angle of a training perspective, okay, then that way we cannot accept it. And I think it will benefit all of us.
I believe that 2020 has been a challenging year for cocoa farming in the country. COVID-19 has disrupted so many things. Export of raw materials, cocoa beans, has been much of a challenge. We visited your cocoa farm and you shared with us these issues. But moving forward, 2021, where do you see the prospects of cocoa farming in Ghana?
Cocoa farming in Ghana has great prospects. I say so because the issue about gang spraying teams, pollination from cocoa shed, and the assistance given to us by the technical people coming from the cocoa health and extension divisions. These issues are gradually taking effect on the farmer, and the farmer is actually imbibing into it. So you see that come 2021, every farmer is now ready and knows the dates, the times, the months by which each of these things have to be done. And once they are doing it properly, believe you me, if we have the rains at the right time, we will be able to catch up and we will overtake and come back to our first position as the best cocoa growing country in the world.
We just hope so, Mr. Kobo. We're so grateful that you joined us. And trust me, I'll be paying a visit shortly. Thank you very much for being a part of this program.